I've got the dynamic lighting. Do. Oh, and here I am typing that right in chat. How embarrassing. All right, we got some viewers coming in. Hey, everybody. First of all, do I sound okay? Is my voice crackly? I've heard it's crackly, and I'm super duper sorry. I'm super sorry. Do you know what I can do, though? I could move, my, I don't know, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, good, it's better now. Yeah, I think I had too much stuff plugged into my USB ports, and so they tend to crackle. And I've got these problems with my green screen. It's acting funny. This is professional production. But let me tell you the format. Here's the format for class tonight. Okay? It's 1 o'clock for you guys, right? So 1 o'clock, we're doing a little Gumdrop texture demo. $1:15. Let's copy this. You're going to do an in-class Gumdrop texture assignment. And then, you can take a break after this. And then we'll take a little break. And then 2:15. Students will work on modeling the characters. Teacher will model Rocket Raccoon on Twitch. And you guys can ask questions. And etc. So my goal is to keep modeling Rocket so that you can have extra video documentation of how to do the assignment, right? So not only do I give you assignments, but I complete them with you, which is super fun. So my goal today is to get Rocket optimized to 1,000 triangles, just like your assignment is, and get him unwrapped and ready for texture, maybe even start texturing him tonight, and that'll all be on video, so that I can finish texturing him tomorrow. And then you all will be texturing your characters over the weekend and submitting them on Monday. So you'll be able to look at the video of me texturing him so you know how to do it. Okay. Hopefully we have some of the students in here. Yeah, the due date's going to be Monday for the low poly character. Totally doable. And keep in mind too, the way I handle assignments too is as long as you submit on time, you can rework it till the end of semester 2. So that'll be the end of that. Then we'll start the next project. There's going to be 2 total projects in the class. And so on Monday, that will be day 7 of classes. So we're right at about the halfway point of the semester. But like I said, the next project won't pick up really fast, so you'll have some time to adjust it. But we're going to keep moving. Okay, so it says we have 3 viewers. Hopefully we have everybody coming in. Excuse me. Okay, well, we'll just get started. We will just get started, okay, because we have a few minutes to go over poly painting. So what I wanted to show you, so here is the Gumdrop dude. This is what we left off with last class. So if you remember, we unwrapped him. So if we look under, make sure we're in polygon mode, modeling mode. If we look under UVs, UV editors, you can see his nice unwrapping that we did. We went into Photoshop and blocked out some colors on a PNG image and imported those back into Maya, under the Windows, render editor, hypershade editor. See if I'll pop up in the right spot. Nope, it's not. You can see we added that color over here. Okay, easy peasy. However, we want to show you an easier way to texture him, and that is using, it's called the Poly Paint tools within Maya, and it's a method we can use to paint directly onto the textures right here in Maya. And it's infinitely easier than just drawing on a 2D image in Photoshop. So now that we have his UVs all unwrapped, we can paint on him just like you would like a vinyl doll. I don't know if you've ever seen those. You can buy those little vinyl characters, those little chibi characters that are completely white, and you paint them yourself. So that's kind of what I liken this up to. So this is a good time to break out the Wacom tablets. If you don't have your Wacom tablet today, you can use your mouse. But just remember, it's so much easier to paint a character with the proper tools, with a Wacom tablet. So let's do this. So to do that, so what I did is on Canvas, and I'll actually upload him on, I'm going to save the file on Discord for you all too. And I'll show you what I did. There's a file called gumdropdude.obj. And what the OBJ file is a model that's universally accepted in nearly any 3D modeling software. So not just Maya, you could open it up in 3D Studio Max, you can import an OBJ into Unreal Engine, Unity, any game engine that's 3D, as well as even Photoshop. You could bring in a 3D model into Photoshop. You can paint it in Photoshop, but we're not going to go over that in this class because we're going to do something similar within Maya because I'm trying to keep things in the same software as much as possible. So what I did is I selected this character, and under File, Export, I can go to Export Selection. If you click the little check box, it'll give you some options. And you can select it as an export, or sorry, an OBJ. And if I click Export, you can then save it to a file. I saved it as Gumdrop dude.obj. Already exists, so it saved it out. So I've exported this model, this geometry, this character, out as a single object outside of Maya. So now I want to show you how to import that back into Maya. So I'm going to actually open up a new scene. We'll just save this one. Go to File, Import. Bring up my browser here, and you can see where I've got the gumdropdude.obj. And if you downloaded that file from Discord or from Canvas, you'll have it. For this gumdropdude.obj, I'm going to hit import. And you'll see that's all that comes into my scene. It's just the character. There's no texture maps because it's not associated that anymore. It's only the model. It also comes in with its UVs edited. I still have the same UVs, even though you can see that picture. I don't know why. It decided to bring that in. Oh, if I hit 6. Oh, it did. Never mind. So it brought in the material linked to that texture. But I'm going to get rid of that, actually. I am going to get rid of that texture. I'm going to put a blank one on because that's what you'll have. You won't have a texture on him. So I'm going to go to Window, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. And I'm just going to drag and drop the default Lambert onto him. Boom. Middle mouse drag right onto the character. Okay. And then that Gumdrop one, I'm just going to delete that so it's gone. So we don't have to worry about it. Okay, so he's the default texture. For better or for worse, that's what it is. We're going to now paint this character. So we're going to do it differently than we did in Photoshop. So in Photoshop, we exported the image of the UV from the UV editor, and then we painted underneath the lines, and then basically put it back onto our character. I'm going to do it differently. So I take out my earphones, I can hear better. So we're going to do something different. So up here in the right corner, or sorry, the left-hand corner, you'll see this little tab here that says Modeling. If I click on the arrow, it'll show me some different options for if you're doing different, using different purposes in Maya. You've got rigging, animation, effects, rendering, and customize. So it just basically changes this HUD up here for depending on what you're doing. We've been modeling, so we've been using the modeling tab, but we're going to actually switch that right now to rendering. So if you switch that to rendering, it gives us some different options up here at the top, like lighting, texturing, render, tune, stereo, cache, a bunch of other stuff. The only one we really want to worry about right now is called texturing. And I'm going to select my character just to make sure he's selected. If I click up here on texturing, you'll see this nice little tool here called the 3D Paint tool. This is basically a magical tool for this project. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Okay, and this is what you're gonna model. You're gonna do the same thing I'm doing in just a few minutes. So take notes on this. Actually, I'll help you a little bit. So here's my fancy notepad. So you go to keep it in the rendering mode. And then you go to texturing, go to the texturing tab. And then click on the little box on 3D Paint tool. Pretty fancy, I'll put that up on Canvas. Okay, so do that. So texturing, 3D Paint tool, click on the little box. It gives you a little pop-up with some options right here. Oops, what just, holy smokes, I did not want that to happen. Wow. How do I reset? This is one of those things that, reset tool. This is one, oh, I accidentally put it up here and that's what happened. 3D Paint tool, so I'm gonna pull it back out. How do I get that back out? Not cool. Okay, so I need to get Huh. Hold on, I'm going to reopen Maya. This isn't, don't you love it when that happens? Maya just got mad at me. Yeah, so I accidentally dropped that tool up on top. Here's our old UVs. Things happen, my friends. Things happen. Here we go. We're loading Maya back up. Takes a moment. I promise this will not take long. Okay, here we go. Hypershade is still up. Look at that, my tool is still there. And I'm really upset about it. Did I lock it? How do I pull that tool out? Oh, let's wait. Okay. It automatically led you to photo. So don't open up the OBJ file, open it up, import it back into Maya. It is possible, but I won't go over the tools in this class. I'm trying to keep just one way to do it. If you want to look it up, I can send you the tab to it. Seriously, I messed up my... Okay, I'm going to show you a secret. If you ever mess up Maya really bad... Okay, watch this. Like my tool now will not come outside of... it's like stuck up here, which really, really upsets me. So I'm going to show you this. So if I go to Documents, so if I want to reset my tools, because they're all just messed up now. If I go to Documents, Maya, 2008 or 2018, because that's what I'm using, you have this folder called Preferences. It's got all the hotkeys, shelves, and all this other stuff. I'm just going to delete that file, the Preferences file. So I've deleted the preferences file, and now I'm going to reopen Maya. So what Maya will do, the reason why every time you open Maya back up, it has the exact same preferences or the same mistakes as you had before, it's because it saves those in that preference file. So I actually open up Maya again. You can tell it to create default preferences or copy old preferences. So I'm going to create default preferences, and you'll see it created that whole new folder again. It just rewrote it. So I've got all that stuff back in here. And now it's going to open up Maya. And you can see, I'm going to drag it over as soon as it'll let me. Takes a minute to fire up. Okay. So Gloria, maybe what I'll do, how about this for you tonight? We're gonna paint the Gumdrop dude in Maya tonight, so I can go over the poly painting tools. And how about I figure out the ins and out of, I will do Rocket Raccoon in Photoshop. That way I can work through the process tonight. Tonight and tomorrow. And then you'll have this instruction on how to start poly painting in Maya, and then you'll have one for Photoshop too. Does that sound like a good compromise? Okay, so we've just restarted Maya because I messed up my poly paint tool. So if anyone's just hopping into the chat, which it looks like we have 9 viewers now instead of 3, so maybe we have the whole class here. I am importing that OBJ file, that Gumdrop dude. So I'm going to go to File, Import, and this is important. You don't open it, you import it. You import .objs, you don't open them. So now I'm going to go to my computer where I have that character saved. Under 3D modeling, it's gumdrop_dude.obj. So we'll import that, and there he is. If I hit 6, you'll see he still has that material associated to him like he did before. So just like I did before, I'm going to get rid of that. Really, I could keep it here. So why don't we just keep it on? Because no, this is the file you're going to get. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to select this guy. I'm going to switch from modeling mode to rendering mode. That's up here in the left-hand corner. And then I'm with my character selected. I'm going to go to texturing and select this little 3D paint tool box. And it will pop open a little window, which I accidentally embedded up top and it wouldn't come back undone because it's a naughty tool. But you'll notice it has all these options. It's got, this one's the color. You can choose your color. And if I hover over my character, you can see that it's got like a round paintbrush tool over it. So I'm using my mouse right now, but if I click, you'll see it starts painting. So it's set to black right now. You can see over here you have a little color picker tool. So I can actually select that color picker tool and come in over here and pick any color on this character. So if I wanted the whole thing to be green, I can just pick that green on the face. Go back to my brush tool, which it automatically does. And if I want to change the size of my brush, hold down B and just click and drag to the left and right, and it will change the size. So you'll see I can just start painting on him. So really for this first assignment, I just want you to get used to the tools. So over here is the color picker. I can actually click on that and change the color too, and then just paint a different color. Or use the color picker over here, pick a color, and then start painting. You also have opacity here. So if I want to lower the opacity down to like 4.4%, it'll do a lighter gradient over it. Like if I set it to like 0.1, you'll see it kind of fades in and I can just click and start painting over the eyes. That is basically it. You start painting on it like that. So now it's time for you guys to import and paint your own characters while I do. My suggestion on Canvas was to paint your favorite Marvel character, but I'm going to paint, I don't know what I'm going to paint. I think I'm just going to make up a character. But I'm going to paint with you. If you have any questions or have trouble getting started, let me know. I'm gonna start from scratch here and open up a new character without this file on him. So let's see. So if I get rid of this material that's on him, render editors, hypershade. Here's my hypershade. So if I actually delete that texture, you'll see he'll turn green. If you ever see a model that looks like this, it means there's no texture on him. So I'm going to middle mouse drag this Lambert back on him. Now he has a texture. Yes, I will reopen the tool. So let's reopen the 3D Paint tool once more. So up here on the left-hand corner, make sure, go from modeling to rendering. Once you're in rendering, it helps to have your character selected when you select the 3D Paint tool so that it knows which model to start painting on. And I'm going to click on texturing, 3D Paint tool, and I'm going to click on the box though. Now you'll see since I deleted that material, this is a problem you're probably going to have. It says warning, some surfaces have no file texture assigned to the current attribute. So I'm going to roll down here and say assign edit textures. And it's going to pop up a little tab here that asks you what your file size you want. 512 by 512 is great. Don't use a Maya if. Change it to either a PNG or a Targa or anything but an if. I like texturing on a Targa. That'll work just fine. Assign and edit textures. Now I have a new texture I can start coloring on. In fact, I am going to re-export an OBJ for you all without anything assigned to it. So I'm going to import this guy again, just so we don't run into that issue. So we have this guy. Like I said, I'm going to delete his texture and just use the default one, just so everyone's on the same page. We'll go to Hypershade, delete that texture, assign the default Lambert onto him. Oh, and he's still got colors. And delete anything associated with this dude. Oh, it's because of that poly painting tool. It shouldn't matter. So just, you can start painting on him. Just assign a new texture. Because I just messed him up. That's kind of funny. Oh, it's because of that default. Okay, so we're going to go to File, New. And I'll save you out a new one. Now nothing's assigned to the default. It's better not to use the default anyway, but we like to mess things up here. Here's that new character. Okay, we'll delete that. Boom. Assign a default to this fella. Now he's good. I'm going to export him again. And this time I will save him as OBJ export, Gumdrop texture. Okay, so now he's Gumdrop texture. Oh, but apparently I didn't have him selected. There we go. Okay, so we'll change his name to Gumdrop texture. Love teaching late at night. My brain is perfectly awesome. Okay. So I just exported that for you guys. I'm going to import him, save him again to Discord. Either one of those would work, but this is the one that does not have that previous material associated with it. Okay. I'm going to move Maya over to my Wacom tablet so I can paint. And then I will make sure that you can see it. Where do I get the Gumdrop model? He's on Canvas under the speed character, and then he's also on Discord. So someone said, so after opening the tool settings, are we available to paint the character right away? I tried to paint, but the brush wouldn't work. So I'm going to show you again how to do that. Sound good? Let's do this. So here he is once more. But let me make sure you can see him. Okay, there you go. Okay. Got him on my tablet. Okay, so when you open up the paint tool, the rendering brush, the paint tool, make sure he's selected. If he's not selected, the Gumdrop, it won't work. Right? So let's do this again. So right now he doesn't have a material selected associated with him. So we're going to go to render. Sorry, texturing, 3D paint tool, and I'm going to click on the little box here. So we click on that, it automatically goes to your paint tool, but see how it says a little X on it? It's not letting me paint. That's because I need to assign a texture. And that's down here towards the bottom. You guys see right here where my mouse is? It says assign texture, assign edit textures. So I want to make sure there's a texture associated to that material, and Maya will do that for you. So I'm going to click assign edit texture. A little pop-up pops up here to ask you what your texture size is. 512 by 512 is great because that's what the assignment is for when you do your official assignment. And so I'm going to hit assign and edit texture. It adds a default texture map onto the character. So it's basically importing a file just like Maya did. And I need to make sure that that was a target. Yes, it was. Okay. So now you'll see, if I zoom in, if I hit F, it'll zoom in on the character. So now you can see that it is now a little circle instead of an X, and I can color on him now. So I'm just going to choose a color to color over the whole character. We'll just choose a nice green. I think he's going to be a zombie, you know. And I'll just make my brush big by holding down B and dragging. And I can just color over the whole thing. So I'm going to make sure my opacity is at 1. Here we go. Looking good, little buddy. I have to remember how to... I can color the whole thing green. Because I don't remember how to pan with pen in Photoshop. All right, I'm just using my pen tool, just coloring the whole zombie fella green. Aaron Noom says that fixed it. Thank you. Good, good, good. So we're good. So now we're painting. So you guys can paint this as last year I made people do a Marvel character. You can do that. That is just to give you an idea. But you all seem to have some really cool Korean character ideas. So just model, like, just paint this guy as whoever you want. I trust you guys to do something amazing. And we have 30 minutes to work on this. Okay, size of the brush. Yes, I can do that. Oops, let me do my color picker. Okay, size of the brush. Hold down the B key, and you'll see those little arrows will pop on the left and right. Hold down B, and just move the mouse or your pen left and right, and it will resize. So, if your brush isn't working, make sure you have the character selected before you click on 3D Paint tool. So if I hit W, I can go back to my Move tool. So just make sure he's selected, and then hit Texturing, 3D Paint tool, click on the box, and it will assign the 3D Paint tool to that object. If you have a little red X on it, that means you need to assign a texture. And you just click this little box down here that it says Assign Edit Texture. And then you should be able to paint. So tell me if that doesn't work for you. The beautiful thing, if I was there in Korea teaching, I would walk over to your desk and show you exactly. So hopefully this works. That's why I try to repeat things kind of over and over again on the stream, so you have the video to go back to. Okay, so do this. So it only works symmetrically because the UVs are symmetrical. So yeah, so currently it will only work symmetrically. But if your UVs were not symmetrical, like mine are mirrored, then it would, you could have it not. That's just the way these are laid out. So on this model and example, like you're not really going to be able to do anything different. So I apologize for that. Don't be mad at me. Or be mad at me. I mean, it's your choice. But it's one of those things. But you see, once you have it down. Aaron says he was going to paint Mike too. Yeah, you should paint Mike. You know what? There's no law that says we can't paint the same thing. I was actually going to paint something creepier than Mike, but no, I guess it is Mike. But he doesn't have pants, does he? You can see the nice thing is how much easier it is to paint like this than what we saw before, right? What we were trying to do. Yeah, so it's right here, this little eyedropper tool next to the color. Can you see that right here? So just click on that and it turns into the eyedrop tool. And then you just touch wherever on your model that you want to copy the color and it will just move right back to your brush tool. Indeed, there is. You bet. 20 minutes. Then we can share these beautiful things to Discord. Okay, pen and a Hooray. Boy. Okay, just another 10 minutes. Texturing fun. Under here, you can save the textures as well. Save the scene first. And then I should be able to save out the texture. Hit save. Saved it under my document. But I want to show you guys what the textures look like. Here it is. So I'm going to open this up in Faya open it up in Photoshop to show you guys. So those are the textures. That's what the texture map actually looks like, which is pretty cool. Then if you wanted to go into Photoshop and adjust those in Photoshop, you could. So Phosphorus, how are you doing, my friend? Oh, and I didn't even show these in Photoshop. So I opened up the texture map in Photoshop. This is what it looks like. So you can see that was directly painted in Maya straight to the 2D map, and you can then open that up in Photoshop and edit it. So Gloria asked if she could just do the same painting in Photoshop, and you absolutely can. There's a whole slew of software that does the exact same thing. If you've heard of ZBrush, Substance Designer, Substance Painter, there's a bunch. But Maya does pretty good for these low poly textures. Like if you get used to the painting tools, they're not bad. It's similar to Photoshop, but different. But yeah, so the Rocket Raccoon model, I've gone over how to poly paint with the Maya tools. So with Rocket Raccoon, I'm going to go over how to paint in Photoshop in 3D as well. Similar to what we did in Maya. I haven't done it in a while. So like I said, this way is very plain and simple. Yeah, so you can do it in 3D just like I just did in Maya. So I'm going to figure that out with the Rocket Raccoon model so I can show you guys how to do it. So it is doable as well. Oops. I'm going to take a little screenshot of my little Mike Wazowski. That's Mike Wazowski, guys. Gingerbread fetus. Thanks for the sub, my friend. Okay, so we have like 4 more minutes to work on this and post it to the speed assignment and onto Discord. Gingerbread Fetus, this is how I'm doing them at the moment. These are some online courses for South Korea, but I think that probably next year in the fall, I imagine at EAE there will be a lot of Twitch classes. A lot of classes will be a hybrid of Twitch and Zoom and in person. My guess is it'll be a mixture of all three with some in person. I know even like Jose Zagal is teaching his classes on Twitch now over the summer. And it's just a nice way to show off 3D work, game development type stuff. It's kind of built for it. So thanks. You've been using WebEx for tutoring? Yeah, I've been using this and Zoom. Occasional player, you're amazing. Which, by the way, I would be nothing without my humble host, Ryan Dew. You can't find where, let me check Canvas, because that is not good if you can't submit it. One moment, my friends. Oh, boy. Okay. There you go. It's published now. Well, it's a good thing I had everything up on Discord. Okay, you can post it on Canvas now. I want to make sure you get credit for your beautiful work. Okay. Do you know what I want to get? I want to switch. I want to get a Be Right Back banner that just goes over this, so that it still shows what I'm working on, but not. I guess that's what Ryan does. Okay, for any of my students that are hopping in a little bit late, so here's the plan for today. 1 o'clock your time, we're doing the Gumdrop texture demo, which we did. 1:15 to the end of 1:15 to 2 was the texture assignment, which we just did. Learning to poly paint on the Gumdrop dude. Submit that to Discord and Canvas, and then at 2:15 I will be back. I'm gonna have this. The students are gonna be working on their low poly characters. I'm gonna be working on my low poly character, Rocket Raccoon, right here on Twitch. I'm gonna keep this on, and I will be available for questions, etc. So I'm gonna take a small break, and I will be right back. And when I get back, we'll take a peek at Discord real quick and look at the cool Gumdrop dudes you guys modeled. And my plan is today I should be done with the modeling on Rocket, so I can unwrap him and you can watch me do that again. And then I'm going to start painting him in, I'll do a blend of Maya and Photoshop, but I'm going to try and just take a stab at it in Photoshop because some of you requested that, and we just showed how to paint in Maya, so you should be good there. And yesterday we went over how to lay out paint in Photoshop for 2D painting, but we're going to do 3D painting in Photoshop. Savastris, you have a good night too. Thanks for stopping by. So the reason, occasional player, if I may interject, Savastris is still in Salt Lake City, but the company he's working for is on the East Coast. So 7 a.m. is probably their 9 a.m. It might even be 10. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 hours difference. Just like, for example, it's Wednesday night at 11 p.m. here in Utah, but right now it's 2 p.m. Or sorry, it's 2 p.m. in South Korea. So my students are midday Thursday, and I am Wednesday night. So they're ahead of me by like 14 hours, 15 hours. So I get done with this class at 1 a.m., which is 4 p.m. Their time. 3 hours, 15 hours, I guess that'd be. Let's see. So I've got this be right back. I think what I'll do is I'll just put it right here. Be right back. That way there's something better to look at. Basically impossible to be late to class. No way. It's still possible, my friend. I start classes at 6 p.m. all the way till 1 a.m. We miss you already. Well, I will, you know what? I just need a few minutes and I'll be right back. We're going to be modeling Rocket Raccoon. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to jump into textures on him and make sure we get him sub 1,000. I'm going to follow the rules just like you guys did. He has fingers right now. And I think I've come to the realization that I think he's just going to have mitts because I've got to get his poly count down. All right, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Ryan, you got to stop swearing in Korean, dude. This is family friendly still. And I'm back. Hey, everybody. The occasional player and I are back. I don't know if he's still in the chat. Okay, here's the deal. We're going to check out really quick the Discord stuff. And then we're going to get back to modeling the rocket Raccoony. And is my Blue Yeti working? Yes, it is. Let's see. And then that's it. But one thing I found out today, there's royalty-free music we can listen to. There we go. Okay, we need some tunes, so I don't get super sad while I model. I need something to listen to. Let me know if it's too loud. I can turn it down. Oh, these are awesome! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so here are the current iterations. I'm gonna leave them over here. Okay, here we go, here we go. You guys ready to see these? Okay. His name is Occasional Player, aka Ryan Dew. I can get rid of him. I know, because I know what you're thinking. You don't want to see that guy on stream. He's a professor at the University of Utah as well. He drinks a lot of Mountain Dew, so they call him Ryan Dew. Alex says leave him on the stream. Oh, okay. We'll keep him there. We'll just kind of tuck him. Oops. That's fine. We can tuck him over to the side here a little bit. He can be my co-host. You've seen him drink water. I don't believe you. Okay, let's look at these. So here was my little character. This is based on a low poly model that we did a few weeks ago. I did a UV unwrapping demo yesterday. And so today we did some poly painting in Maya to show off the painting tools. Gloria, this is super cute. It's a Care Bear. Or is this what's the name of the what's the name of the chat? Cacao Talk, or what is it? Cacao Friends, there we go. Cacao, that's right. So in Korea, cacao is like used for everything there. There's a Cacao Chat for everybody to chat. It's kind of like Google Chat. They've got Cacao Maps. They've got Cacao Subway Maps. They've got everything Cacao. It's a big thing. Oh, and this guy, that's cute. So I get that. I'm glad that you have all figured out the poly painting tools. Yeah, the Homer Simpson from Simpsons. Oh, he's even got a butt crack. Fahrenheit 350 says, how do you know so much? Well, Fahrenheit 350. Last summer, I had the pleasure of living in South Korea for 3 months, and it was one of the highlights of my life. I had the opportunity to go back there this summer, but this stupid COVID thing happened, and I'm teaching online, which I'm still very excited to do, but it's not as good as eating Korean fried chicken every night. Okay, so we have three of these submitted. Hopefully I will get more soon. Okay, let's do some modeling. All right, here we're gonna say goodbye to this lovely gentleman. There he is in his high poly glory. Raw. Ah. Okay. Now we're back to Rocket Raccoon. I'm gonna save him. Oh, this is so much better with music. Okay. All right, here we go. Now back to the low poly Rocket Raccoon. Kind of went overboard on the backpack, but I think it was necessary. I think it's going to pay off. He's going to have a beautiful black backpack. So he is, oh, I went to default mode. What is this ad? Not cool, man. I'm not listening to that. And Rocket Mortgage. Oh boy. I guess Rocket Mortgage is apropos to Rocket Raccoon. Okay, so we need to go. So since I deleted all my preferences because I had a my issue, I've now got to make it right. I've got to now reapply that. So I'm going to go to display, heads up display, poly count, and this will show me everything I need to know. But mostly I just care about the triangles, of which I have 1,120. So I need to get rid of 120 triangles. And then I think if I can do that, I think I'm ready to paint. I'm not crazy excited about the arms, but I'm going to leave them. Okay, so I think I can shave off a whole bunch of triangles if I lose this poor guy's fingers. What I could do is try to keep his trigger finger because he likes to shoot the pew-pew guns, right? So let's do that. I don't know if that's going to save enough. All right, let's do this. So how should I do this? This is weird music. Okay, so sometimes you have to ask yourself, what would Ryan do? And I guess I could find out really quick how much this will save me by just deleting these bad boys inside. So that's 36 triangles. That may get me pretty darn close. Okay, so let's clicky click those off. I accidentally selected that one. I'm changing the rules, Gloria. I'm changing the rules. We're not allowed to go over 1,000 triangles now. Because I need another 100 triangles. So 1,000 triangles, give or take 5%. 5 to 10%. So now I'm down to 1088. So that got me halfway there. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. You went over 2,000 triangles. Do your best to reduce. This is what I'm doing right now, just to show you. So I've got to reduce rockets by another 88 now. So just looking at where the heaviest culprits are. Could probably reduce some on the feet. Don't really want to reduce that much more. It's killing me. His face is super low already. His ears could be reduced some more. So let's do what I didn't want to do. Let's surgery on his ears. Will this even save me very much? Not enough. Actually, let's do this. Weird. That's weird. That's shaved off another couple. We're to 1078. Yeah, you may have to do some surgery, Gloria. Got to reduce this guy. All right. Am I going to have to go to full mitt? Full oven mitt. Oh, his thumb is so ugly. She didn't look so bad. When it's textured, it'll look just fine. Yeah, we'll move that up a little bit. We'll just adjust it. We'll just make it look good. Okay, so we could reduce the hand some more. So we could do something like, okay, let's do this. Let's move this over. And then we'll snap you over here. That way I can still keep some roundness on the hands, maybe. Maybe I don't even need that. And then we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to collapse that edge. Get rid of you. Delete. Delete. Okay. Ooh, we're down to 1062, my friends. 1062. I need to shave off 60 more. So, do you need to be that big? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Are you ready for this? Okay. Oh, here we go. We're doing major surgery here. This. Boom, boomity boom. Don't need that. Did not need it. How much did that save us? 1046. Okay. 1046. We're getting closer. We're almost ready to unwrap this dude. Where could I save a triangle or two? Well, if I really want to get cheap, I could do that. Okay. We're 1044 now. Okay, what about you? Do I really need these? Nope. Nope, I didn't need those. Okay, 1038. We're getting there. This is where the magic happens. What else can I get rid of? This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Okay. Is this really gonna mess him up? Merge, collapse. Oh, that hurts. He looks so boring now. His silhouette is terrible. but not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not that bad. Okay. And what we could do, let's look at the front view. Okay. Oh, that's terrible. We could tweak this a little bit, right? No, don't move that. See, from the front, side view, he's fine. Bring that in just a hair. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, we're down to 1028. 1028. How much more can we reduce? Okay, what's going on with his neck? His head is so tiny. Okay, so that's one triangle. I saved one triangle there. That's good. Oh, I guess two if you count the other side. So I'm down to 226. 226. I think we're gonna have to do the full mitt. And we may have to, or we get rid of the claws. I don't want to get rid of the claws. Anything but that. My goal is for him to be sub 1,000. Otherwise, what was all the pain and agony for? Okay, let's do this. You ready? Oh, hands are so expensive. There's got to be something else I can save, but okay, he's going to be a mitt-wearing dude. The other thing, I could give up on his backpack. Like, he doesn't need the fancy backpack, but I like it. Also, I don't think these are, I think these are supposed to go in more. I think it's supposed to look more like that. That looks more rocket accurate. Okay, you know, I probably don't need this one. I mean, it could just loop down there. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. But I think we've already committed to losing his hands. So we're at 10,010 now, or 1,010 tries. So this hurts me. Really hurts. All right. So we're at 1010. Rocket has had his hand just destroyed. So here we go. You ready for this? Ouch. Ouch. 10:02. Oh, not that one. Okay, we're gonna have to do some fancy texturing work to fix that hand. That's okay. Gloria, we can't go over 1,000 because those are the rules. No, so there's a couple reasons. One, you could go over 1,000, right? You really could, because at the end of the day, you're just submitting it with a number on it. It's not actually going in a game. But if it were going into a game that had really limited processing power, like a cell phone or a mobile game or like the Nintendo DS, and maybe they wanted hundreds of characters in the game at one single time, every triangle becomes important because that's computer processing power that it takes on the render I can't even talk now, it's so late, to render the graphics on the system. And so really I'm giving you this arbitrary number that you can't go over, so that you are forced to limit yourself and be an efficient modeler. If I just said there were no limits, I guarantee the topology that you would submit would be less thoughtful and less clean. So it's really a learning tool. Keep it under 1,000 really forces you to understand how to make things efficient in modeling. And so that's why you can't go over 1,000 triangles. And yesterday when I was modeling this, I was like, you know what? I really want the hands on this character. And I know I gave my students this rule of 1,000, and I was going to break my own rule. And then what am I teaching you guys if I can't even follow the rules I've set? So I did the painful thing, and I sewed his fingers together, and I did it for you. I did it for you. I did it for my students. And I had to make a decision. Do I want fingers, or do I want this nice little backpack I created? And those are the decisions you have to make as a game developer. Soften these edges. Introducing Stella Artois Solstice Lager. And we also get advertisements. No gauntlet for Rocket. So, Alex, I can create a gauntlet as a separate add-on object for him. So I can give him a gauntlet. Because that won't count on my 1,000 triangles if it's a separate accessory. And I did give that allowance to my students. I said if you make something that's separate to the character, you can do that. You can have 300 triangles or whatever. Also, I could do a texture pass with. I could just paint a gauntlet on him. I'm not like super thrilled with this part right here. But I think I just need to move it over to allow for that belt buckle, and then I don't have to be sad anymore. Oh, it's fine for the belt buckle. Okay, great. Great. I think we're good. So check that out, my friends. 994 triangles. Modeling is complete for now. Okay, so now I need to unwrap this fella. Yeah, 994 triangles. That's pretty low, isn't it? I was able to achieve the sub 1,000 triangles. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to merge these guys together. We're going to make our model. Actually, before I start, I'm going to save frequently and save often. I actually had Maya crash on me yesterday modeling him, and I haven't actually had Maya crash on me like that in a long time. So I'm going to go over unwrapping next, and then we can jump into the world of texture painting in Photoshop. I may have to watch a tutorial before I do it, but Gloria was adamant that we 3D texture in Photoshop. And who am I to argue with Gloria? The tail's crooked. Oh no. Ah, rats. That's just weird. Okay, so I've got to fix his tail now. I don't remember spinning it. It must have been when I reduced him. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay. So I'm going to make sure all these vertices are snapped to the grid. I'll hold down X. Grid snapping for the win. Grid snap him. Grid snap this. It's going to be a thing of beauty. This might actually have, no. I was gonna say, I might have been able to get rid of another edge. See, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give in. I am not giving in to the peer pressure. All right. 497 beautiful triangles on this half of this gentleman. Okay, let's combine him. I think I'm pretty happy with it. We have a couple extra triangles, so after we're done, I may be able to add a whisker or two. Otherwise, he's going to be whiskerless, which is kind of sad. I think if I could even add, so how many did I say? Ooh, okay, watch this. We have an idea. Oops. So everything is reset. My duplicate special is reset, so I need to click on instance, scale it on -X, hit apply, boom. Okay. So I have 900 and... Really? What happened? Oh, I lost an ear. You see that? It's like, why is he so low? The saddest thing I've ever seen. Okay. Oh my gosh, not duplicate with transform, dude. Duplicate special. Okay, there we go. So I have 6 triangles. Do you know what that means? Do you know what I can do with 6 triangles? I don't know if I want to do this. May end up not being beautiful. What's your problem? Oh. What do you think, yay or nay to the whiskers? We'll just decide later if we want to keep them. They're so small. We get a yay. This uses every single last triangle in our arsenal. Exactly 1,000 triangles. You know, I think they add a little something, and they're adjustable later, right? We could even delete them if we change our mind later. But they do. They kind of make them. They'll be like white. They'll have contrast against his the dark of his tufts of fur. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. That is, my friends, 1,000. Sweet. Okay, let's go into UV unwrapping now. The dreamiest part of the whole procedure. I'm digging these stream beats, man. This music, pretty chill. Okay, let's do this. Ugh. Okay. UV editor. Here she is, the UV editor. And those are my UVs currently. As you can see, I'm modeled with a lot of cubes and planes. And that's why this looks so beautiful. So I'm going to grab all my UVs and just politely slide them out of 0, 1 space. And we're going to start from the top and work our way down. Go into face mode, I can just grab sections. Look, there's the ear, because it was a, that's what the ear currently looks like, because it was modeled out of a cube. So I'm a big fan of automatic wrapping. I think that they've improved a lot of the tools inside of Maya. What are these? I might test some of these. There's a UV toolkit over here. Pinning. That's great. You can pin, create, cut, and sew is right here. Auto seams. Oh, that's cool. Unfold, optimize. Oh, wow. Align and snap and arrange layout. Oh, cool. We're going to try some of these. We're going to try orient edge, unstack shells, randomize shells, layout. We'll test some of these. Or I'll just keep it low key and just work on it myself. Side, move and sew. This one. Move and sew. And this is the back, which I think I would like to keep the seam up here where it's not as visible. Move and sew. Okay. Question is, do I want to sew all these together? I think I'll do these ones. And then I'll leave the rest like this. I wonder though, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to try unfolding this bit to see if I can't get a nicer texture to it. Unfold. Always show this warning. This selected mesh has non-manifold geometry which needs to be made manifold in order to unfold to run. Always fix. Always show this warning. Let's just fix it. Okay. That looks better. We'll just hit G to repeat the tool. Okay, good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be good enough. Okay, so there's my ear. I'm gonna move it up out of the way. And I think just for fun, I will put the texture grid on it. Render editors, hypershade. I'm gonna make a new material and call it texture grid. And then I'm gonna add I downloaded a texture grid. We could just do the checker tab on here, but it used to not act right and I didn't like it, so I'm not gonna use it. I don't have to if I don't want to. Let's see if it's right here in 3D modeling. UV checker, here we go, boom. So we're gonna slide that on. Boom, boom. So there is my current texture grid. So you can see where the texture maps look really bad. And this is the ear I just unwrapped. It looks pretty nice. A little bit of stretching up top, but not enough that I care about. We'll fix it in post. We're just trying to get done. Okay, so let's grab the head. Face. So look at that. Here's my current UVs for the head. It's beautiful. So just like before, we're just going to automatic map that. Boom. See where all my texture grids are. So see, here's the eyeball. What is this? That's the cheek. Interesting. So this is going to be a trick to unwrap. So I think I need to think about this for a second. What I'd like to do is have the muzzle separate. Don't know what that did. Okay, and here is that top nose piece. Where is that? Just hanging out. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay, well, I'm going to start sewing it together and then I'll decide what to do. Okay, so this is the top of the head right here. Okay, I don't want to sew that together. This is the front of the face. Okay, so I think I want the muzzle separate. Interesting. Better. So that's the difficult part. We have these really weird seams here. Like those. So actually the weird thing is that is a weird spot there anyway. I think this would totally mess it up, but I'm gonna see what happens. See, it's all stretchy now, but I wanna see if I can fix it. Unfold it a little bit. No, that's not bad. Okay, so then I avoided all the seams here. So there's gonna be some stretching along the snout, but it's all now pretty uniform to where I can paint it. One of the nice tools in Maya is the unfold tool, where you can grab sections of UVs and click unfold, and it'll even them out. It's kind of like if you had a folded up towel on the ground with wrinkles on it, you kind of like pat it out. It's kind of what the unfold tool does as best as it can. In fact, this is probably going to be ugly. See all that stretching, but I have less of a seam now. So the goal is to have as few seams as possible with as little stretching as possible. And this isn't pretty. It's not the prettiest, but it'll work. Okay, so there is his face. So we're going to call it done for now. My concern is if I did so like this last one on, it would have major issues, but let's see. Not the worst. That worked a lot better with the edge. I'm gonna cut it. Cut it again. Hover over the UVs, unfold. There we go. Now they're straighter. I don't like it, but I can live with it. Okay, we got the ears up here, which don't need to be that huge. So the larger the checker on there, the smaller the texture map. So if they're tiny, that means it's high resolution. If you think of those as pixels, if they're bigger, then that means there's going to be less pixels to cover it up. So to match kind of the size would be something like that. Same size as the head. Pixel density, my friends, pixel density. And we're not going to worry about the whiskers for the moment. All right, so as you can see, UV unwrapping is a process. Gloria, you mentioned before about the tri-count as well. So the lower your poly count, the less you have to UV unwrap, which is helpful too for this class. Okay, so let's unwrap the rest. I'm gonna wrap this thing. This thing should be pretty easy. Oops. There's only half of it, and I can keep this one pretty similar to what it is. So here is that piece. That's so weird. Yeah, let's just do this fast. Automatic map, boom. And just like that, so that's unwrapped now. And what the heck, we're just gonna sew these two. Feels pretty good. And just for funsies, I'm gonna unfold the middle of this. Okay, so there's that gem on the backpack. We'll just slide it over to our category over here. Boo, boo, boo. That's the head, the backpack, the ears are over there. We might as well just do the whole backpack now though. keep it as its own object. It'll just keep life easier for us. Got it selected. Hard time grabbing it. Oh, whatever. Okay, so we've got that selected. Oh, I didn't want to select that though. Okay. Okay, so here's the backpack. And this is all weird shapes that kind of move along. I'm gonna leave this whole outside piece as its own piece. So I'm gonna cut these. And this is how I'm gonna do it. I just decided. Okay, so we're gonna do it this way. Oops. Where did you go? Oh, did that piece not get added? Oh. We missed a piece when we did it. There we go. Okay, so there's the backpack. I'll leave that as two separate pieces because the outside wraps all around. But everything is looking nice and uniform, like it should. One of the things I like to do is if I select all the faces, shift select in my model and show selected, then we can just see what hasn't been unwrapped yet. So it's whiskers and the rest of the body. Okay, let's grab the tail now. Should be pretty easy. If I want to get rid of that. So there's the tail. It's just one piece. Boom. Done and done. Okay, tail is over there. Let's do the foot now. Pretty good. So I think what we could do is try and keep it all together, or we could cut up the foot. I think I want the seam on this foot to be right here. I'm gonna cut that. Apologize everyone, it's starting to get late and Gabe starts to get sleepy. And now they're playing a lullaby and it's just putting me to bed. Okay, so we cut that, boom ba-doom, so we can do all these. So if I wanted to cut down poly count, I could have done less polys on the legs, but I think they look fine. Okay, so that piece is still going down there. That's fine. Rocket. Let's just cut it. Okay, now here are our feet. We're just gonna sew the tops on. And the other side. Boom, ba-doom. Just gonna do that one too. Move and sew. And the bottom of the feet, we're just going to attach them to one of the sides. And the back of the foot is right here. Okay, so now we have the legs and the feet as two separate objects. I'm going to unfold these a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. Tab 6, you can see everything is looking pretty uniform. Hold down Shift, go to face mode, and I'm going to select all these again. Hit Shift I. Oh no. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to deselect, hit Shift I. Now select all my objects. Okay, so this is what I have left to unwrap. Can we do it? Can I get done unwrapping and start texturing tonight? I would like to at least get a few minutes in Photoshop to start getting my my bearings, and that will give me all of the last hour and a half of class to just texture him up. That way I've gone through the complete modeling and UV layout and texturing of the character, so you'll have all the videos to watch over the weekend, which I've already done anyway with the Gumdrop gentleman, but we'll do it with Rocket Raccoon. Okay, so let's grab the arm next. UV automatic. And I'm going to cut the wrists. So we want the hands and the arms to be two separate pieces. Cut the wrists, cut the wrists. To cut the wrist. Got to cut the wrists. Sounds terrible when I say that, but I only mean it in the best way. Okay, let's sew the arm together. And we want the seam to be right here, which is never where I want it. I mean, it never automatically goes where I want it, but I want the seam to be underneath the arm so that it's not very visible. Cut. And we'll take this side and cut and move and sew. We'll grab this side and move and sew. And then we'll grab this side and move and sew. And then we will grab it and move it over. Come on. Come on, UV shell. Come on, bud. To UV shell. There we go. Okay, and why did this piece not attach? Where are you at, bud? You're just hanging out over there? Just chilling or what? Weird. Okay, and then you have this whole side. Which, is that connected? No, no, no. Or not. Okay, good. Move and sew, and there is the arm. Kind of a weird shape because of this rocket's got a lot of muscles. I don't think he should have be that muscular, but I'm not going to argue. He's a pretty tough rodent. Okay, and we'll straighten it out a little bit. Now that we've unfolded, I can just tap G and unfold it a little more, like you do. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful UVs. I love it. I love it. Okay. Now we just have his hand to reassemble. Which I think the easiest thing to do is just reassemble it from this side. I'm going to grab that edge, see where it's looking, and we'll just do this. Move and sew, boom, move and sew. So what we're saying is move and sew. And then I'd like to hook up this side. Okay, and what the heck, let's just do that. What does that leave us? These little naughty bits. Little naughty bits. Okay, let's just move and sew these here. What does that hook onto? Another naughty bit. Let's do it over here. There we go. And sometimes this kind of thing happens, and you just kind of have to tuck it out of the way. Say, just stop, because that hooks up on the other side. This, though, do that. What is your story, man? Let's unfold this and see what happens. Nothing good. This is what we call in the biz overlapping UVs. The naughtiest kind. So I'm just going to go to UV mode. Oops. Grab the naughty bit. Just tuck it out of the way. And it's going to look ugly, but look at this face. Let's just see what we're dealing with. We're dealing with that face in between hands. So if it's a little bit squished, I can live with it. I can live with it. I will not shed a tear, because how often is somebody going to look in between the thumb and the hand and be like, there's a little bit of stretching there. I don't think they're going to get mad at me. Okay, let's unfold some of this stuff. Just get it nice and uniform like you do. Looking good, looking good. Looking like $1 million up in here. Okay. Oh, what are these little finger bits? Dang it. Those are all these right here. Oh boy. All right, well, we better find those some homes. Some homies. See if we can unfold these again. Same type of deal here. We don't want these overlapping. We just want to make them as copacetic as possible. I think that will do it. That will do it. Okay. Okay, the hand and the arm are entirely unwrapped. So that is another non-stop party. Move that over to the side. What else do we have? What else do we have? Let's check. We got some whiskers and the body. Okay. Go into face mode, I can select everything and then marquee over the rest of the rat. And we can see what we've got cooking here. So we've got this section. And I think what I would like to do is separate this part of the leg from this part of the body. And then go from there. There's going to be something interesting with this piece. I might just cut this piece off entirely. But we do have like this neck part. So normally there's a hole here for the neck. But not in this case, because we're just sticking him right back in there. And so we needed that as a hole. So mostly it'll be painted black, but that's where his neck just extrudes right through it. So let's grab this side of the leg. And you can see here, I kept this on because the leg just tucks into it. And I don't ever want to have gaps. Okay, so we'll just follow this pant line. Automatic, boom. Here we go. So I kind of want to keep this piece, this circular piece, as its own little piece, because I think we can kind of get everything else pretty well cut without that. And then it can just live on its own in the corner, away from everyone else, so it doesn't hurt anybody. But just like always happens, this is where we want the seam, but it didn't cut it where we want it. because it's kind of like just like a pant leg. I mean, pants, you have seams on both sides sometimes just on one, but seams are quite common. That's why they call it the inseam, right? It goes on the inside of the leg because it's less visible. Then we can just wrap this around like you do. Like you do, my friends. Didn't want that there, but we'll leave it there. Seems to have found a nice home. And we could cut that off later if we want to. In fact, I'm just gonna cut it off anyway. Let me see how well I can unwrap these. Dun, 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 dun. Where do we change the triangle number of a cylinder? Let me show you. I think I know what you're talking about. Let's check it out. So, let me save this. Let me move these paints over to the side. So, I'm assuming you mean the poly count of it, the number of triangles. Yeah. So, if I create a cylinder, so you can see by default, it's pretty heavy. This is an 80 triangle cylinder. It's pretty heavy. So if I go to the attributes section over here under attributes, channel layer, attribute editor, you hit Control A, it goes to your channel box. But right here under inputs, you can see this poly count cylinder. You've got the subdivision heights and the subdivision axis. So it's 20 right now. So if I select that and slide or just change the number manually, I can go down to like a 6-sided cylinder, and that is 24 triangles compared to the 80 that the 20-sided cylinder was. So it's a lot less. And even if I go and go into face mode and delete the cat. Oh, look at that. Did I save? Please tell me I saved. Alex Cervantes. I'm pretty sure I hope I just hit save. That's what I get for helping students. My eyeballs hurt, people. Gingerbread Fetus says womp womp. Gloria says I think you did. I'm pretty sure I did before I did that. If I didn't, I'm a darn fool and I deserve what I get. but I'm glad you guys are watching. The fact that you actually saw that go to town means you're paying attention. Oh, look at this. Maya crashed during last sessions. Please click the following button to retrieve save file. Okay. I'm pushing it. Maya takes a minute. Just thinks for a minute. Here we go. Error reading file. Come on. There's a temp file? I never asked it to. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful day. This is actually a temp file though. So I'm going to save this. So it looks like they've gotten better at saving crash files. Rocket. It's a Maya binary though, and I do not prefer binaries. I like ASCII. I like .mas. Okay, so we've been saved by the bell. But here was that cylinder, right? So if we look at that, it is I lost my poly count. Display, heads up display, poly count. Okay. If we look at that, that's 24. If we delete the top of it and the bottom of it, that's now a 12 triangle cylinder. compared to the great software, yeah. Compared to the 80 triangle count one we had earlier, this is 12. So that's how you reduce the count. Is that what you're talking about? The other way is whenever you add an edge ring to it, that doubles the poly count. So now that went from 12 to 24. So a way I could reduce this more if I didn't want a 6-sided polygon, I could grab these edges and collapse them together. Like merge, collapse, boom. Now it's a 5-sided cylinder and it's 20. So basically you collapse edges until you get to your desired poly count. Oh, well, I'm glad that saved. Look at that. The legs, look at those beautiful, beautiful texture maps or UV layouts. Okay. I still have to pack them all together. So it's 12:30 a.m. now. I've still got time. I'm going to try and get it all UV unwrapped by 1 a.m. by the time class is over. And I would love to be able to at least pop it into Photoshop, even if I don't do any texturing on it today. Let's keep cracking. So let's go to our UV editor. There she is. Didn't I say AM? Did I misspeak? Yes, 12:30 a.m. And it's 3:30 p.m. in Korea tomorrow. Or today, actually. It is now today. It is now Thursday, my fellow students. I am now in your day. When a half hour ago, I was still a day in the past. Let's go to face mode. Boop-a-doo. And shift, oh wait, key over it. You just love how I teach at a late time. I know, right? Holy cow, it's killing me. I am so not used to this schedule. But it's okay. So can I complain for a minute? I'm not complaining. Students, I love teaching. I love teaching at this time. I'll teach at any time. But here's the interesting thing, right? So when I get done with class at 1 a.m., it's only 4 p.m. in Korea. So my students are still working on their assignments. Inevitably, they have questions and issues and things that come up from my 2 classes. So while I'm asleep, they are all sending emails asking for help. So when I wake up at like 10 o'clock, because I don't get to sleep until like 2 or 2:30 because I'm wired, I wake up at 10 or 11, and then I've got like a couple hours of answering questions and then grading, and then by the time that's over, it's almost time to start class again at 6 p.m. So needless to say, tomorrow is Thursday, which is my Friday and my students' Friday. So I'm looking forward to the weekend so I can catch up on some sleep and catch up on grading and continue on. Because this is an accelerated course, I teach 5 days a week. Oh, that's a good question. That is a good, you know what? That is a good point. So Korean students, I will invite you to the EAE Discord. There's an EAE Discord. So all the alumni, there's like so many EAE students who would love to help you. They love sharing their vast knowledge with everybody who will listen. Okay, so here's the body. I'm just going to auto unwrap this whole thing. Which Discord do you think they should be invited to? I mean, there are a few different ones. Gingerbread Fetus, you're not in the EA one? Just a second. Maybe I can send you an invite. I don't know if I have the power. There's an MEAE. Is this meant for everybody, EAE? I think it is. Al Mohadib. Oh, tracks, art, engineering, production. Oh, this is great. Oh, so I can't invite. I'll figure it out. Professor Dues. Oh, I can invite. Can I invite people? Invite people to that one. Yeah, I'll invite you to Professor Dues. He's got a lot of. He's got a lot. That would actually be the most helpful. So I should be able to get his link from his Twitch stream, right? Oh, is he live right now? Wow. Oh, he's got me on there too. Oh boy. Discord, here we go. Guy, what a yahoo. Okay. Okay. So to all the class, here's another Discord, yet another Discord. This is Professor Dues Discord. He's been using Discord a lot longer than I have, and so he has had a lot of the undergrad artists at the University of Utah have gone through our classes and has been inevitably in his Discord. So it's very active. There are a lot of EAE alumni, a lot of current students, and a lot of very knowledgeable people there. So if you have any questions that come up and I happen to not be available at the moment, they are very helpful. Regardless, it's a fun place if you're interested in games and what's going on with the University of Utah in games and art. He's got a pretty active community. That being said, there's the link. Okay, let's unwrap this guy. Okay, so we want the seam there. I think. How do I want to do this? So I know I want this one, I think, cut right here. The one thing I could do is I could just cut this right in half on both sides. And then I would have a clean division between them. Because they don't have holes here or in the neck, because it just intersected my geometry into it. That may be the best approach. Which would mean I would cut it right here. So I'm going to try that and see how it looks and then make the decision. Wonder if Professor Dude, does he have, am I like, does he have my audio on? didn't want to do that. Okay. This is all tied on. That is to that piece. Okay. This is this top piece, which we can leave. I don't know if I want to leave that. So I do think I want to. Do I want to cut that off? I don't know if I do. A lot of thinking. I've got a lot of thinking to do here. What do I want to do? Here is that top piece. I mean, the whole thing just goes around like that if I do this. That isn't a shoulder piece. That is the other shoulder piece. Okay, so if that's cut down the middle, that would be right there. This would be the other shoulder piece. And that's the bottom half, right? I don't care as much about. Okay. Okay, that's not as visible. This one is though.